Okay, so you've chosen my personal favorite, how to do a mega open house. This is so cool. I stumbled across this about 13 years ago. I perfected it, went on to sell over 428 homes in a single year, do $168 million in volume, 3.8 million in gross commission income. Really cool stuff. And we tracked back our closings that year, over 319 of the 428 from open houses. You're gonna love it. In fact, I teach you how in a 3-hour segment, I convinced 37 strangers to give me their private social security numbers. So what I want you to do is sit back, take notes. Don't relax. Sit back and take notes. Watch this video 2-3 times minimum, if not 4 or 5 times. Internalize it. Make this yours, because you literally can go on to make 4, 5, 6, 700,000 a year, no problem. If you build a team, even more. So enjoy how to do a mega open house. All right, well, welcome to today's session, how to lead generate with powerful open houses. I love this. Anybody new in real estate here? A few of you? And what's the one thing you need if you're new in real estate? What do you need? Clients, leads. How about if you're an old dog in real estate like me, 17 years later? What do I need? Clients. What do we all need? Leads. Absolutely. So we're going to talk to you about how to do that specifically through open houses. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, they're boring. I hate them. Like, ooh, you know, I can't believe I even came to hear you talk today, because that was my experience. I was brand new. My mom was a Coldwell Banker agent. At the time, she's a 45-year real estate broker, so about 23 years in real estate. I got my license, and she said, do an open house. And that was this is my big training program, right? I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I don't have a listing, right? She just hold my listing open in Rancho Cordova. I'm like, okay. And then it hits you, right? I don't have any open house signs, right? Can I borrow yours, Mom? I was a RE/MAX agent. She was a Coldwell Banker agent. She's like, oh, this is ridiculous. And so I'm 30 years old, 47 now. And so I borrow Mom's Coldwell Banker open house signs with her Coldwell Banker open house. And I go out to Rancho Cordova, suburb of Sacramento, and I hold my first open house open. I put out my sign out there on, you know, whatever street that was. And I think I put out 5 signs. And I sat there and waited. And about an hour later, some poor couple came in off the street, and I was ready, man. I want to succeed. I followed them all around the house. This is the dishwasher. This is the garbage disposal. Here's a toilet. That's the backyard. You know, can we just look at the house? You know, that's a wall. You know, I'm like trying to make conversation. That's a wall. Anyways, so, and I chased them around the house, and then I said, hey, can I get your information? They're like, we got your card, we'll call you. Bam, they're gone. Hour later, another couple, same thing. Chased them around, bam, they're gone. The third couple, I'm hip. I know what they're gonna do. And they did. Hey, we got your card, we'll call you. I followed them to the car. I'm begging them for their information. Like, quick, honey, get in, door's shut. And they like burn rubber out of the court. True story. Okay, I was like desperate to succeed, and I'm like, well, open houses suck, you know, this does not work, and that was it. I didn't do another one for like 2 years. Can you believe that? I'm like, I tried that, not for me. That was a bummer. Okay, so then what? By the way, if I were to relocate to Scottsdale, Arizona, Chandler, Arizona, Las Vegas, Denver, Colorado, Miami, Yellowstone, Montana, anywhere, the first thing I would do is set up open houses for Saturday and Sunday, and I'd start at 10 and I'd work till 6. You'd actually do an 8-hour shift? Mm-hmm. Right? What do most people do with open houses? They start at 2 and end at 4. Put out 5 signs. And that's kind of what I did, and what kind of result you get there. If your teenage son or daughter gets a job and they go, I have a 2-hour shift today. Wow, you know, get a real job, right? And somehow in real estate, if we do a 2 or 3 hour open house, we think we're really doing something, man. So, few years later, I kind of somehow figured out real estate by default. I'm selling like 27 homes a year now. And 2-3 years later, and I don't know, making $150,000 a year. I'm like, okay, you can make some money, right? 27 homes. But I noticed there was HUD Homes at the time, and I noticed there was this company, John Brooks Realty, back in 1998 and 99. They were beating Remax, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Keller Williams, had they been around back then, which they weren't around, Prudential. They beat everybody. They combined sold more HUD homes than all the other big companies. I'm like, who is John Brooks Realty and what are they doing? I kept thinking I should quit Remax and go to work for him because he is kicking tail. He was selling like 400, 500, 600 HUD homes a year here in Sacramento back in the mid to late 90s. And so one day I'm in Natomas, I'm driving down El Camino in Truxell, and it was El Camino, and all of a sudden I see this open house, free list of area homes, 500 moves you in. I'm like, what was that? And I see another one. And then I'm like, what was that? And I slow down, I see another one, and another one, and another one. And before I even got to the intersection, I'd seen like 7 signs. I get to the intersection, the whole corner's covered with signs. And they were like this high. They were made out of sandwich board. They were pegboard. They were homemade in someone's garage. They took like purple paper with an arrow, and it had rained a few times, and the arrow was drizzling a little, but it was such a shocking thing to my system. I'm like, what? Who is this? And I'm 27 homes a year superstar, and I turn into Bridgeway over there, and I wrap my way in. They must have had 30 signs out. I get to the house. There's 2 women in the garage with some flags up, and there's people upstairs, downstairs, in the backyard, in the front yard. There must be 20 cars out front. I'm like, what the heck is this? But I'd never seen an open house like this. Because we're taught, we put out our Keller Williams 5 signs, or our Coldwell Banker 7 signs, or Lion 4 signs, and we just, we polite and all this stuff, and we put them out and nobody comes. Well, they were killing it. So I went, I paid to have these big, huge yellow signs made with PVC pipe, and I put concrete in them so they wouldn't blow around. And it was $100 a sign, and I bought 14 of them for $1,400. Started putting those things out. All of a sudden, I started selling homes like crazy, and I started teaching other people how to do it. And then I sold 100, then I sold 200, then I sold 300, then I sold over 400 homes. In 2005, I did $168 million in volume in a single year, out of just one little office. And there's plenty of Keller Williams offices that don't even do $168 million a year, the entire office. So we were doing $168 million. We went back and checked 300 plus of those 429 closings. I believe it was 308 were open house leads. So, wow, what did you do that was different? Well, here's what I did. I found out signs were the key. All those signs. You think, well, I put out 25 signs. I've tried your program before and it didn't work. You know what? It doesn't always work. Sometimes I do everything I'm going to tell you here, and it's just a slow day. That's a part of the plan. Sometimes the weather's crummy and it doesn't work. You're like, oh, the weather's gone to, it's, and the 49ers are playing, and it doesn't work. Other days the weather's crummy and we kill it. Other days the weather's great and it's slow. Other days the weather's great and we kill it. So it's not always going to work right for you, but the key is you do it Saturday, Sunday, and all of a sudden your client base, I'm going to teach you how to do this, it goes and goes and goes and goes to the point I had about 60 or 70 people, all buyers, a lot of them. This is more of a buyer-focused thing. You will get listings, but primarily buyers that were saying, yeah, here's what we're looking for. And to the point where I said, you know what? I'm tired of being tired. I want to blow this thing apart. I know I can do this. I got all day tomorrow to show property. Can write an offer in an hour, 30 minutes. I'm pretty quick now. Put it in escrow, get them to present it that night. Why not sell 30 homes in 30 days? Forget a year. Why not just do it? So I told everybody, I'm going to sell 30 homes in 30 days. Told my broker, told my office manager, told everybody. And it was July, and I'm telling them in like June 25th. And July hits, and I'm up early, and I'm going. And it's like, I got to sell a home today. Now that's your first secret. How many of you woke up today going, I got to sell a home today? And here's why you didn't, because you don't have that goal. You have a goal to hopefully sell 2 or 3 this month, and it's all nebulous. And so you got to have the BHAGs, right? Big, hairy, audacious goals. Something that just like, holy Toledo, I'm behind. It's 3 o'clock and I haven't sold a home. Well, that's kind of ridiculous. How'd you do? I failed. Didn't even hit the goal. Didn't even come close. You heard me say this morning, I sold 14 homes that month. Prior to that, my record was 7. I smashed my record. I doubled my record month because I dared to be different. Because I never met anyone who says I'm going to sell. That's a stupid goal, 30 homes in 30 days. My comfort zone was 7. It went to 14. It shrank back to about 10. But I never went back to 7. And when I hit my record with 7, my comfort zone was 4 or 5 homes a month. That felt good, normal, and if I didn't sell 4 or 5, I was a little freaked out. Now I'm like freaked out if I didn't sell 10 a month. You with me? And so you got to have a lot of clients. Well, people don't know how to get clients. People walk around, may I borrow your pen for 1 sec? I'll use this one because you're taking notes. They walk around like this with the test tube, and they have 1 or 2 clients in that test tube, and maybe a sale drips out occasionally, just enough to go bankrupt in real estate, just enough to get you divorced in real estate, just enough to frustrate your spouse and to really drive you crazy. You must figure out lead generation. Now, this morning, if you're in Folsom, I talked about how to get listings and how you've got to figure out lead generation. Same thing with this whole buyer thing. So I started putting out 25 to 30, a lot of signs. And here's the deal. It's like Hansel and Gretel, breadcrumbs, right? You follow them. People see these signs. What do? We're going 50, 60 miles an hour down Sunrise, Madison, Watt Avenue, Pleasant Grove, East Bidwell, whatever street it is. And guess what? We're on the cell phone. Some of you are texting. You're having a burger. You're busy. And then you go by one little brave RE/MAX agent who has a sign out there too. And you know what? It's the best way I can explain to you. It's like being in the desert. And you ever done this out in Palm Springs? And all of a sudden you see watermelon, grapes, Fuji apples. You ever approached a real fruit stand? And what do? They chum the water as you're coming in. And I was with my wife on our anniversary years ago, 6, 7 years ago. We're at Half Moon Bay. We're going down the coast just for a drive. We'd stay at the Ritz-Carlton Half Moon Bay, which is like a castle in England. If you've never been there, you'll think you're in England at a castle. It's the coolest place in the world. Very expensive. Now, so we're driving down the coast, and all of a sudden we see all that stuff. I go, honey, let's pull in and get some grapes, How do you think I was thinking about grapes about 3 minutes before I started seeing all these signs? She goes, oh, let's get a case of strawberries for the kids. Yeah. And look at those pears. And all of a sudden but it was all the signs leading up to the fruit stand. By the time I ate the fruit stand, we were like anybody's mouth watering right now? Cantaloupe. Honeydew melon, I like that. I love fruit. And we just loaded up our car with fruit, but we had a chance to think about it so we could pull over. And you got to get these open house signs out way in advance. I'll give you an example. You got to get a little crazy. Now, before I do this, I really want to kind of get you excited. My best open house ever was in a torrential rainstorm. I had to bungee cord the signs to telephone poles. I brought an extra shirt because I knew I was going to get wet and an extra pair of shoes. I wore my crummy shoes and my crummy shirt and my crummy jacket, and I was drenched. I literally got in the house, deadbolted it, ran in the bathroom, took off my sopping wet coat and shirt, and switched out of that, put on a fresh shirt, and I'm inside. And the next 3.5 hours, I convinced 37 total strangers, that's a lot of people in an open house, right, to give me their personal social security numbers so I could run their credit. When's the last time you did an open house? You got to listen to what I'm saying here. And so I'm going to teach you how to do that. Do you think I had something, besides choking on my slobber, do you think I had something fairly convincing to say to them to part with their social security numbers? 37 sets? We ran 37 people's credit Monday morning. Only 18 got approved. Had to call the rest back. And I had to say this, hey, good news, you could buy a home in a year. Did you catch what I just said? Good news, you could buy a home in 2 years. She just went bankrupt last month. You didn't mention that. No, is that a problem? Yeah, but not really. It was last month, so 23 months, you could buy a home. Let's stay in touch. I'm going to have my lender, Jeff Compton, talk to you, boom, 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 and do all this stuff. And guess what? I never turn people down. How do you feel? You ever applied for a credit card, been turned down? I have. Sucks. So, am I allowed to say that? Yes, I am. Okay, now, it's my thing. So here's the deal. So I would say, and I would ask my lender, I remember this one time, oh, they have horrible, they couldn't buy a jar of peanut butter, ha, ha, ha. I go, well, you know what? Well, you're laughing at me. I worked hard all weekend to get that lead. I realized they can't buy a cup. They're a nice couple. I learned to say, when can they buy a house? And they say, well, if they work on their credit, do this, about 7 months. So I call them back and say, Michael, great news, man. Who likes to hear that? You can buy a home in 7 months. Does that feel different to you guys? Yes. How do you talk to people? Hey, sorry, can't do it right now. Your credit's kind of rough, but give me a call next spring. That feels different. Everybody gets approved. Diamonds for everyone, right? Sharif. Everybody gets approved. Some people approved now. 18 approved now. Hey, great news. What's your first name? Dell, you're approved to buy a home. $480,000 right now. The interest rate, I was able to get you 3.9 30-year fixed. Told you he has great rates. I go, now Dell, you had mentioned you're comfortable with the payment up to $2,500 a month. Yeah. I asked him, at that interest rate, how much home can we buy? And he told me, because I've taken notes when I've talked to him at my open house, I'm going to show you how to do it. He says, well, you can buy a home all the way to $380,000. So you ready to get out there and get looking? When you get somebody approved, they love you. Don't let the lenders do it. You notice the lender didn't call him back. I did. Don't you let your lenders call him back. They love your lender. You ever lost a buyer, but they stuck with the lender? Hey, I'm sorry. I tried to get them back to you, but they bought through Lions. I'm sorry. And the lenders are sorry. They love you. They don't want to offend you. Trust me. So signs are the key. The other thing on that, and Sandra, can you bring me that sign? On the sign itself, it says free list of area homes. That is vital. That's why they come in. You ever done an open house and you see people drive up, drive slow, and drive away, right? They go, well, the home's just a little humble 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and I didn't like it. And so they drive, then they go, oh, wait, we like this area. I was in Santa Cruz. The guy did it. I went in to get the free list of area homes in Santa Cruz right on the ocean. The house was a dog pile, nothing. But this little baby, free list of area homes, is a gold mine. And so remember you're doing that. Now, what does the free list of area homes look like? I print little one-liners out. It looks about like this. I'll have sometimes 15 homes on it. I'll have 30 homes on it. The most I ever put is 45, but I really don't like having this many because it can overwhelm them. Oh, that's a lot of homes to look at. I like to have 15, 20. And then I have price ranges that start always at $300,000. Well, are there homes for $150,000? Yeah, I don't want to sell those. They have more problems. They have more dry rot, more termites, more leaky pipes, more leaky roofs. I only put like about $295,000 to $3 million. And so they may be shopping $400,000 to $450,000 or $600,000 to $650,000 or $800,000 to $900,000. I have something for everybody on my list. And just 2 or 3 homes. I say, take this list and go right now. If you see anything on this list, you know what you can do? My son's here, Dylan. Give him a hand. Good job, Dylan. He's never heard me speak. And I say, you got to come hear your pop today. He's like, what for? There. He's like, what's your angle, Dad? I go, no angle. I just want you to see what I do. So anyways, I love you, son. Made me happy. Messing up my film. Okay, so what I do is I give my business card. I said, here's the cool thing. I put this list out every week. Every home's vacant. I'm one of the only agents that puts out vacant homes. Like, what's the big deal here? I go, here's the deal. They've all moved on. This $500,000 home, they probably bought one for $7,000. Means they own one for $7,000, they got to make a mortgage payment, and they have this vacant one for $5,000. They burn their boats. They're making mortgage payments on $1.2 million. Are you like this at your open house? Totally animated, absolutely. They're making payments on $1.2 million. Do you realize how motivated they are to get rid of the one at $5,000? And some people just like, we own it outright, just sell it. And I get $25,000 to $50,000 under everybody else on these homes. And I am one of the only agents. So you get a few friends now. But I am, compared to 10,000, right? I am one in the area. I am one of the only agents that does this. Write this word down. I publish this list every Friday. It's a select list. If you give me your email, Joan, never ask for the phone number. That was a slip. Never ask for the phone number. I mean, never. It's a kiss of death. Joan, if you give me your email, I'll add you to my list every Friday. And you may look at this list for 2, 3, 4 months, but you run out. Here's my business card. I give you my card. And this is your passport to every property on the list. They're all vacant. You can go on the front lawn. You go right up. You look in those windows. You go in the backyard. If anybody asks you, you said, my agent said it was okay. You hand them this card. This is your passport. How many like that? It's a little better than just some nebulous card. Ooh, my passport, you know? And they keep them. I got a passport here. I have a right to be here. I've had, I think, one call in 10 years of saying, you give them right to go in my backyard? I go, it's vacant, right? Anyways, all right. That's it. Do look for dogs. And I said, Joan, you should go out right now. You get GPS on your phone and in your car? Yeah. Go look at some of them right now. If you see any you like, when I get done at 5 o'clock today, I'll run over and let you in. I'm really into service. How do you like that? So, Here, the free list of area homes key. And now here's her biggest mistake. She goes, so I publish that list every Friday. Would you like to get it? I'll never even know if you call me. Doesn't mean you have to use me as your agent. But would you like to get the list? And I hope you call me someday, but I'll never know. I kind of use the honor system here. She goes, sure. And I do just like this. Watch this. I go, great. So what's your email, Joan? And she goes, well, it's joanc@gmail.com. Okay, awesome, Joan. Now, I have homes on the list, as you can see, from $295 all the way to $3 million. I don't want to spam your email. I'm going to send you stuff you're actually interested in. What price range you shopping, Joan?
$450.
Up to $450?
Yeah.
Okay, up to $450. And we're here in Folsom. Would you consider El Dorado Hills, or are you a Folsom only kind of person?
I prefer Folsom because it's Sacramento County.
So Folsom's critical. Yeah, El Dorado County is. All right, great. Okay. And now, is square footage important to you?
Yeah.
Certain square foot. What would be a minimum?
25.
This is really important. You get what I'm doing here. 2,500 square foot. I'm just asking questions. We're exchanging information. How about year built? Do you care about the age of the home?
Yes, with under 10 years.
Under 10 years. How about 2000 and newer? Would that work for you, or do you want 03? I'll do 03 if you want it.
2000.
2000 and newer. Dude, just like this. Shh, quick at this. I go, okay. Now, would a single-story home be important to you, or do you not care? Double, single?
I prefer single.
Okay, single-story. Is that an absolute must?
Yes.
Okay, single-story, critical. 2-car, 3-car garage?
3.
3-car. They give you this every time they sit here and answer my questions. Now, some people love pools. I happen to be a pool guy. I got 5 kids. Pool, no pool, plus, negative. See, no pool. Okay.
Done with pools.
Done with pool. No pool. Absolute must. Okay. And year built we got. Oh, how many minimum bedrooms and baths do you need? Absolute minimum. What could you survive on?
I would think 3-2 minimum for resale.
3-2. Okay. Wonderful. And up to 450. Okay. I've got some great information here, Joan. Now, I list properties all the time. I may list something just like this. Tell you what, if I see one like this, and I network with a ton of agents, if I see one like this, would you like me to call you before it goes on the market? Say, for example, it was, you want a 3-2. What if it was a 4-2, and it was 2,700 square feet, and it was a 2009, has a 3-car garage, single story with a stunning view, and it should be 440, but it's coming out at 399.9.
That would work.
They do that. I go, so sometimes email's not the quickest way to get a hold of you. Do you have a cell phone, a way I could reach you?
Yes.
Wonderful. What's your cell? 223-1896. Great. 916 area code?
Yes.
Okay. I just got her cell phone right at the very end. Now I swing back around. Now, Joan, what if I found this perfect home, but it was 2420 square feet, because you told me a minimum 25. I mean, it's stunning and it's priced ridiculously good. Would you consider that? Because if I cut it off at 20, you would.
I would.
Well, how low would you really go then? Is it
Probably 22.
2,200
Very
square
lowest.
feet?
That would
Right
be
here is vital. You guys catch what I'm doing here. Okay, now what if it was a 1998 and instead of a 2002, it's a 98, but they remodeled it and it looks better than a 2010? Would you consider a 98? And you could be,
I'd be willing to look.
okay, 97,
Okay, I'll look at that too.
95?
No lower.
Okay, 1997. So I draw a line through 2000 plus, because all the other realtors are order takers, just like I was doing in the beginning. But guess what? Now, what if I found you, you said a big square footage, pretend you told me I'd really like 3,000 square feet and a view. What if I found one that was 3,100 square feet on top of a hill with a view, and it's just highly upgraded, amazing, single story, everything you wanted.
The $399?
Well, no, but it was 468, and you told me no more than 450. We could always talk them under, right? Offer less, offer 400. Would you look at it? Because if I cut it off at 450, you won't know it exists, your dream home.
You're right. I will.
This is vital to get them up on their price. So would you go, I'm thinking even if we looked up to 5, we could always offer 4 and get them down under 450. And let's say they don't. They drop at 475 or 480 or even 490. They get snooty and they don't drop. Fine, we could blow it off. But what if they did take that gorgeous home and we got it for 445 because it was vacant and they're desperate to sell? Would that work for you?
That would work.
So I can look up to 500?
Yes.
Now here's the difference. Joan, when I met her, and I didn't quite hit this part, I go, so you've been looking long? She goes, yeah, about 8 months. all the agents have been looking up to 450, right? Minimum 2,000 square feet or 2,500. She gave me permission to drop to 2,200, go up to 500, go back to 1997. Now I'm going to be able to show her all kinds of properties she's never seen before. And all of a sudden, it's easy to sell them homes. It's important that you take their box. Here is the box right here, and you expand the box. Are you with me? You expand it. Like sometimes they'll say, you know, I will do El Dorado Hills. Just open up my box. I say, I know you love Roseville, Rockland, but would you consider Lincoln? It's right there. There's some really nice 12 bridges. And sometimes they say yes or no. I try to move them out, and then you will sell more homes. Okay, so these are some, like, that's what you do when you talk to people. Now, one of the things I want to do is talk to you about, in a little bit, what to say when people come into the open house, because people have a problem getting information out of people. But before I do that, I want to mention this. I tell my team, work on Saturday, work on Sunday. I don't care what you do Monday through Friday. Go to the pumpkin patch with the 5th graders. I go to Apple Hill every year. I'm a team dad. I'm at Apple Hill. I love it. It's fun. Go golfing, garden, paint a painting. I don't care what you do Monday through Friday, but on Saturday, Sunday, if you can, work like a dog. Because people who can buy homes, guess what? People who can buy homes have a full-time job. And they're working Monday through Friday. They're typically free on the weekends. I golf during the week. I snow ski during the week. I water ski during the week. I have a cup of coffee and walk and hang out with my wife till 10 in the morning during the week. I don't do any of those things on Saturday or Sunday. That's me. You don't have to do this. But guess what? I'm out there rocking and rolling, collecting, having so many people that I have low-hanging fruit. What is low-hanging fruit? An example. One of my clients called me and he goes, I got the house. I'm like, who is this? His name is Chuck. He finds his own house on Pollack Pines, $480,000. And that's the one that appraised at $465,000. I showed him one house, sold it, and I get 3%. Anyone do the math on that? It's like $14,000. Show one house. I've done that so many times because they're low-hanging fruit. How many of you have been with the buyer you shouldn't have been with, but they're all you got? They're an investor. I've done this. I've found this incredible deal in Folsom, $300,000. The guy's like, okay, offer $225,000. I mean, we need to go $305,000, not $225,000. But it's all you got when you're new. How would you like to fire clients? Have so many that you can actually pick and choose who you work with. I remember this guy goes, I hate real estate. He says, I hate them. But come on. I guess I got to use you. He literally said that to me. And you know what? I went with him because I didn't have many other clients. I pick and choose my clients. I fire sellers. I met a guy and he was really kind of obnoxious with me. And I just dropped him. I took the file, remade it, and I tore it up, threw it in the trash. I don't want to deal with that person. I don't want that person in my life. When you get that little wacko alarm going off, and you're not your wacko alarm, but going, it's a wacko. I'm talking to a crazy person, okay? Not your spouse. I mean, like, right? I mean, sometimes I love my wife. I'm the crazy person. Now, so, but that client, and you're going, this is trouble. They are going to be trouble. Listen to that voice. Do not. You got to figure out this lead generation thing. So, Saturday, Sunday, go for it. Get out there and work. I told you about 37 sets of Social Security numbers. I'll tell you how I did that in a minute. How do you book an open house? Well, guess what? You go to the MLS. You decide where you want to work. A lot of you wait for the KW Internet or Remax or whatever company you're with. And someone goes, hey, you want an open house? Guess why they're giving it away? Anybody know why they're giving it away? They don't want to do it. Why don't they want to do it? That's your first clue, because it's not that good. Do not take the free open houses. Decide your price point. Everyone write that down. Decide your price point. What does that mean? Well, I don't want to sell $100,000 homes. I want to sell $800,000 homes. Okay, where's the $800,000 community? This community, this one, and that one. That's where your open houses are. I don't have any listings there. Do you realize for over a decade, I would go to areas I wanted to be. And I would go to Rockland, say, Whitney Oaks or Whitney Ranch or whatever, and I'd carve out that area, and I'd look for vacant with lockbox. I'd never call, because you call another agent like, hey, Michael, can I do an open house for you in Whitney Ranch, and his clients live there? And they're not going to go, sure, and I get to know his clients. They don't like to give away their occupied open houses as much. But when they're vacant, no one's there, they're pressuring me, you can do an open house, you can do an open house. And some agents hate them because they're thinking traditional open house, slow, boring, you know. the title companies used to have open house survival kits. Bottle of water, some mints, crossword puzzle, because you're going to be bored. And that was cute. Chicago title, you know. And First American, I don't want to pick on Chicago title, but the point is this, they're not boring. I've had this many people in the kitchen at my open house where I said to get up on the counter and go, excuse me, hello, excuse me, can I have everyone's attention? Are you serious? Let me tell you what's going on here. This is an open house. This property is more than likely in distress. It's vacant. The sellers want to sell. You could probably get a really good deal. I publish a list of these homes every single Friday. If you fill out my form and give me your email before you leave, you'll get my distressed property list every Friday, or you can pay a lot of money for a home. Now, we get homes with granite, views, infinity edge pool, crown molding, plantation shutters, travertine. They are beautiful on this list every week, and it changes every week. The list doesn't come like this. This is just an example. The list actually has all pictures. You can see it. And the ones you go, wow, I would recommend you go look at. And here's my card. You can all grab one. This is your passport, right? And you call me, and I'll drop everything and go help you. I'm really into service. Has everyone got that? Also, we have a first-time homebuyer program that anybody can do now. Does it sound like I've done this before? Mm-hmm. I have, a lot. And you get good at it. That anybody can do. I don't care if you own a home right now. You can do our first-time homebuyer program. You fill out this form, and those of you buying the DVDs, we will give you the form. And I will give anyone the form here. But you fill out this form, and guess what? If you qualify, there's a good chance you will. It's 0 down, 0 closing costs. Does that work for you? Up to $500,000. How would you like to buy a house? Those programs are out? Absolutely, they're out. I'm even going to tell you what it is, but that program is out nationwide right now. 0 down, 0 closing costs. That's all you need to know. I talked to your lender, but it's only in certain areas. Why should I say that? I don't want to discourage people. Is El Dorado Hills a bad area? I kind of like it. How about Lincoln? How about Loomis? Is that a bad area? Because it's in Loomis right now. And so there's different areas that you can get these things. Really 0 down? Yeah. All you need is a good job. 2 years in that job. I want you to fill my form out and then sign it. They do check your credit. And guess what? I never asked for the Social Security number, but it's on there, and they just fill it out and give it to me. And I go, plus you'll get my list of distressed properties, highly motivated sellers that are desperate to sell, and I will call you Monday with your approval. I don't say I'll call you next week and see how it goes for you. I will call you Monday with your approval, and I approve every one of them. Some of them it's 3 years out because their credit's really messed up. Great news, you can buy a home in about 31 months. Well, would you like some help? Yeah, my lender has a software program. Maybe it can speed up to 27. But it's going to go by like that. Then the last 31 months go by. You see how everything's really positive and up? So decide where you want to work is key. What's your price point? Quit taking the easy open houses. You know, I do them in Loomis, Granite Bay, Newcastle, the nice parts of Roseville, East Rockland, Secret Ravine, Alexandria, El Dorado Hills, Folsom, American River Canyon. These are all high price point places. Go do them there. And guess what? The people, all day long, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900,000. Promontory, $1 million, 700,000, all day long. Well, how do you get it? What's your first name? I'm looking at you.
Mine? Oh, Jamie.
Jamie. Hey, Jamie, Brent Gove, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We're role playing. Great. Hey, Poppy Hills Court. I'm looking at it online. Wow. I can't believe that's sitting there available. Is this really still available? It's vacant with lockboxes. I picked my area. Just picked my area. Sorry. I picked my area. It's vacant with lockbox, and I found 7 or 8. She works with Golden State Realty, or it could be Coldwell Banker. It could be Lions, a local firm here in Sacramento, California that people listening I've never heard of, or it could be a big prominent company like Remax that's nationwide. But the point is I say, and I'm sorry, Jamie?
Yes.
Got it right. Jamie, Poppy Hills Court, is that still available? And she goes, yes, do you have an offer for me? They always say that, all excited, because I'm excited. I said no, but I could do it almost as good. What? I was going to be showing some property Sunday, and I've decided to do an open house. I know this is vacant. Can I hold it open for you and bust my tail for you and try to get you a buyer? I specialize in 15-day closes. If you give me a shot at this, I'm telling you, my lender can close in 15 days. I will get you a buyer, and I will do my best to close this in 15 days. You get paid, Jamie, and I get paid. What do you say? Tell me absolutely not. Tell me absolutely not.
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, thanks. I call the next person. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I call the next one. Hey, Joan, can I do this? Blah, blah, blah. Finish and tell me you hate Keller Williams agents. I've had people say that to me. People will stun you, okay? You watch, I won't get political on you, but I will, The Butler.
Yes.
Woo! Man, the civil rights, they're going to spit on you. They're going to cuss at you. They're going to beat you. And they would beat up these people and prepare them for what they're going to see. Now, no one spits and cusses and beats up on your little open house. But some of these agents may go, oh, I already have teammates. They're holding it open. 2 or 3 calls, they get an open house every time. And it's a gorgeous house in a phenomenal area. But I call them up and I just ask. Usually like, yeah, sure, absolutely. And in fact, anytime you can hold my open houses up. I make a note of that person, Jamie. Love her. Right? And I have a list of selected agents that do high-end stuff. But I'm doing open houses in price points where my price is high. If you sell 30 homes at $200,000, you're going to make some money. But if you sell 30 homes at $600,000, you're going to make, okay, $600,000 times 3%, if you get that, is $18,000. Do times 10. 10 homes. 180. That's not that many homes. Now multiply that times 3, over $500,000 a year. Because you quit taking the easy open houses and you were willing to call a Century 21 agent who wasn't very nice to you and says, my broker will not allow other companies to hold our properties open. You know why? Because that broker wants to corner the market and not share their toys. But is it really the right thing for the seller? No, it's selfish of that broker. It really is if you think about it. It's darn selfish. And some agents, they don't share their toys. We can name names. There were some names that went out today, not yours. But nobody say the name, but somebody in Folsom, someone blurted out a name where everyone laughed. Yeah, oh yeah. And you guys know who I'm talking about. Do not say the name because we were on live. Now, so, but some agents, they won't share their toys and they're going to say no to you and they might even hurt your feelings. But I call the next Century 21 agent who's broker and they say, sure. Well, the last one said our broker doesn't, the next one doesn't care. There was a time when I worked for Remax and our broker says, do not allow other agents to hold your things open. I'm like, whatever. I'm an independent contractor and I'm going to let them hold it open if I want. It's the right thing for my seller. So there's a Coldwell Banker has a lot of those, so you can't do it. The next one, sure. Or the, you know. So don't be afraid to call. Just ask, and someone will say, sure. And now you're in the area you want to be. Does that make sense, you guys? Yeah. Now, Sinology 101. It's vital you tap into the busiest road. Anybody ever give blood? Mm-hmm. Ever give blood? Anybody had a miss? Yes. I mean, I'm a big guy, but I'm like, oh, get it. Well, look at my arm. I'm so big. They're like, where is that sucker? I have one good one right here, you know? And they're like, phew, and they get it. But if they miss, you're like, oh, come on, do you have that? I had a gal, it was like her first time, she missed twice. It's like, okay, boom, third time, thank heavens. But what happens when they tap into the main artery right here? And that little vein, and if you watch that, about whoosh, I mean, like, oh, I get a little woozy, you know? I mean, just for me, I'm like power loaded, man. Whoop, it's full fast. Same thing with your open houses. People amaze me. They've heard me do this, but they don't you want to plug into an 8-lane road. Antelope, California. Who knows where Antelope is? I was dropping my signs at Highway 80 in Antelope Boulevard. Can anybody tell the rest of the people in the room, plus the people on that video screen, how far it is from Highway 80 in Antelope to actually the town of Antelope? I'm guessing 2 miles. 2 miles of breadcrumbs, 2 miles of signs. I've had people come. That day I must have had 80 people at the open house. I had people come, they said, we just wanted to meet you. I go, why? Because you're crazy? We started following your signs thinking they would cut off. Surely they're going to turn into a neighborhood. And we drove and drove and drove. Then we started to head towards Oregon. You know, we went down this way, then we cut in, and we're like, will it ever end? I mean, we're laughing. Is he going to take us around to Vacaville? You know how far? And they're packed. I go, aren't you glad you're here? And I started telling them about my program. But that's a lot of signs, isn't it? Well, I can't afford that. Stop that limited belief. Find a way to afford it. It's worth its weight in gold. If I was parachuting at any town USA, I get my signs, I get my open houses book, and I go out there and kill it overnight in any city overnight now. Done. How many believe that? I believe it. And so it's such a great feeling when you're not tied down anymore. And so, and because of that, I had months back in 2005 in the boom where we'd make like $280,000 a month. Is that a good income? From open houses and teaching people on my team, which later on we do how to build a team. So Signology 101, you want to spread these signs 50 to 75 yards apart. Nobody gets it. They go thunk, 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 like the builder every 15 feet. The signs are 50 to 75 yards apart. When you come to a major intersection that you're really trying to tap into, you want 2 on each corner. 2, 4, 6. That's 8 just at the corner of that major intersection. And then don't sign pollute. As you head into the promontory, as you head into Wexford, as you head into Loomis and this beautiful Clos de Lac where the vineyards are, where you want to be, just drop one, just like Hansel and Gretel, and all of a sudden your day will rock. You'll get a ton of people. Sometimes nobody shows. Sometimes it's slow. And what I do, honestly, I walk around the house praying. I walk around there, I pray for my wife, I pray for my kids, I pray for you. I pray for people I love. I pray for clients. Pray for rain. Pray for potatoes. You ever see that movie? It's good. I don't know if that was right, but it was a movie. Anyways, did I pray for potatoes? You ever see that movie? I don't know. It's good. Great movie. I'll make you cry. So, but it's good. Your mindset. I mean, literally. Not every home is an open house. Do not cancel. People call you and say, we sold the house. Don't do the open house. I say, I've already advertised it on Craigslist. I got people coming, I got to do it. They'll be upset. Oh, okay. And make sure you advertise. Don't lie. But that's a way to get around that. You can't do it. We already sold it. I said, I've advertised it. There's people coming. We're all going to look bad. They're going to call you and yell at you when they drive 30 miles from Elk Grove up to Loomis for an open house that doesn't exist. Are you sure you want to do this? Okay, go ahead and do it. Because agents will try to cancel on you. Occasionally they go, I don't care. Do not do that open house. I'll call the board if you do it. So basically, guess what? You got to run back to the office and rebook an open house. Don't whip out and say, well, that's it for today. You call and call. Sometimes I've called 15 people. I finally rebooked the open house. Remember today when I didn't get the pest report? We called 8 pest companies in about 15 minutes, and we found one that could be there in 45 minutes. How long you need to get a pest report? A day. Home inspection? A day. Well report? A day. Septic? A day. Any town. You name the town. I will find somebody. Somebody call and call and call and call until I get it. That intensity that people lack. So you got to do that. Final thoughts. Advice on an open house, never cancel it to show property. Never cancel it to do a listing appointment. Never cancel it because you're just not feeling like it. Suck it up, get out there and do them. HUD would not let you hold the home open. So what I do, I got an easy up, put it in the gutter. I put a pop-up table and I put a sign at the time, Countrywide Home Loans. I stood there in slacks, a shirt and a tie. It was 104 in July and people would roll up. Like it was A&W root beer. And I talked to them. Someone would get out and talk to me. And agent, what are you doing? You can't hold that open. I go check the door. It's locked. No one says I can't be in the street. I mean, think out of the box. You guys with me? So what do you say? The final thing I want to say to you is, what do you say to an open house? Who wants to role play with me? I need one role play person. Need one person? Nobody's looking up. Yes. Heidi? Susan. Okay, so we're going to wrap up this because you need to know what to say. She comes in, she walks in, I go, hi, come on in, make yourself at home. And I'll actually back up and lean against the island in the kitchen a little bit. And sometimes they come right to you and start talking, or they go, oh, thanks. I go, the house is yours, enjoy. How many when you go to a jewelry store, a furniture store, a carpet, they come right up, here's my card. Oh, what are you looking for? It's like, whoa, back up, give me some space. So be that cool, fun person. Come on in, I'm here when you need me. I'm over here. Do you have a flyer? And they come right to you. Oh, yeah, I got a flyer, here you go. And I don't even talk about the house. I just hand it to them. So you've been looking, right here. Have you been looking long?
I've been looking for about 6 weeks.
Susan, about 6 weeks, how's it going?
I don't know, I'm just looking, I'm trying to figure out what I want.
Okay, all right. Well, this is the flyer I just gave you in the house is cool, but let me give you this. You know how my signs say free list of area homes? Mm-hmm. And then I go into my whole thing. I write, every home on there is empty. These people are desperate. And I say, and I do my thing. If you give me your email, I will give you this list every Friday. And you don't have to use me, but I hope you do, but I'll never know. I get people call me 6 months later, hey, I've been getting your list for 6 months. We're at that house, we want to buy it. How would you like that call? And I'm like, who is this? Oh, you don't remember us, but we've had your card, the passport, remember that? We kept it. It's like very valuable to us. And I'm like, okay, I'll be right over. It's sold so many homes that way. Now, tell me that you have an agent. You ever had this?
Yeah.
This is worth the price of admission. Tell me you have an
I have
agent.
an agent I've been working with.
And you love her.
Well, yeah, so far, yeah.
Really good. It's your mom. Okay. Now, so they tell me that. I go, awesome. Susan, there's no law that says you can't have two. And you know what? I don't own any of my clients. And if someone can help my client find the home of their dreams, I'm thrilled for my client. And maybe I wasn't looking as hard as I should have. So there's no law that says you can have two or even three agents looking for you. So I tell you what, I have many listings, and I list homes all the time. I'd actually like to send you my list, and if I send you some drop-dead gorgeous home where they are highly motivated to sell, and your agent didn't even tell you about it, maybe I could write the offer for you. Would that sound fair? That's really good verbiage. Does that sound fair? And they look at each other and they go, well, I guess, we can have two agents? Absolutely, you can have two agents. And if your agent finds you a home, you should write through them. But if I bring this home to you that was not on your radar and you love it, and you think the price is incredible, do you think maybe I've earned the right to write the offer for you? Yeah. You've been doing that for 13 years. Because you know what? I don't own my clients. And listen to me very close. You do not own your clients. You don't own your clients. You do if you have a buyer-broker agreement. And out in California, nobody does them. A few people. I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of open houses. Never made it. I have a buyer-broker agreement right here. They usually will tell you. Well, you need to ask them. No, I'm not going to ask them. I don't agree with that. They'll tell you. And so, guess what? If you have a seller and you don't have a listing agreement, are they your seller?
No.
Well, why are the buyers yours? Why can't I say you could have to? Because if she's listing her home, you could go do a listing presentation. You could. It's somehow okay because she hasn't signed a listing agreement yet. Fair game. But somehow the buyers aren't. I cannot stand that old school mentality that says, how dare you? Did you tell my client? Do you have an agreement, a buyer broker with your client? Because they're not, you may be working with them, but they're not your client. Just like on a listing, there's no difference. And so I've never had a problem, I don't even think I've ever had an agent call me back upset or whatever. But some of you are like, do you have an agent? Oh, that's too bad. Well, if it doesn't work out, call me. Are you kidding me? Be a little bit more aggressive, Maybe you just don't have enough troubles in your life. You don't have enough mouths to feed. I got 5 kids, okay? Anyways, was this helpful a little bit? I got time for one question because there's always someone asks that last little zinger where I'm like, I'm so glad you said that. Does anybody have a question of maybe like, but Brent, what about this that maybe I didn't cover in that little blurb here for 45, 50 minutes? Anybody? Yes.
You mentioned holding it open longer. Is there an ideal length of time?
If you need to feed your family, I'm going to go 10 to 5, and at 5 it's rocking. At 6 it's still rocking. At 7 it's dark. At 8 I've stayed there till 9 at night. It's 10 in the morning till 9 at night. You have to use, I got to use the restroom. Put a sign on the card, lock everything, lock the front door, be back in 10 minutes. Run and use the restroom. I got to eat. I'm diabetic. Back in 45 minutes. Leave a card there, lock up, go eat, and then go back to your open house. Go work, you guys. Get excited. Have some, don't just, this is a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Remember, we watched, you can hear Charlie Brown and Lionel and Lucy and all that, but the adults were wah, 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 wah. You know why that? Because nobody cares what the adults are saying. When you do your open house, most people come in, I'll give good service. I can help you find a home. Wah, 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 wah. Talk about different things. Talk about, hey, you could buy a home for nothing down. It's a first-time home buyer program that anyone could do. Fill this form out, and I'll get you the form. And my list here, it's different stuff, and they fill it out and give me the Social Security number, and I'm running credit Monday. You guys with me? It is so cool. Teach people to do it, you can build a huge team. One key critical component to doing your open house is to realize this. Your signs will get stolen. They will get vandalized. 5th graders will do it. Remember when you were a 5th grader with your BMX bike and you do a little kick and you kick the real estate sign over? Well, as realtors, we kind of get our feelings hurt. Who rode on my sign? Who threw it in the water duct? I mean, it's kind of hurtful. Your sign, the HOA will take them because you didn't know. I was in Gold River and they took all my signs. He was slamming in the back of his HOA truck. I found that offensive. And I went up to him, what are you doing? You're getting out of those here. I go, you just had to ask me. I had no idea. Now get those out of your car now. He's like, oh, okay. Now I can do that on big. It was helpful to be big sometimes. I was like, woo! You know, city ordinances. Roseville, where I live, does not allow open house signs. Period. End of story. Been doing them for years. I have had hundreds of signs taken, destroyed, vandalized. I was hiring a new agent. We put out 14 signs when we used to pay. The signs I showed you earlier are $5 a piece, a little wrought iron. They work great. And they're very inexpensive. If you lose 10 of them, you lost $70. Big deal, right? We put out 14 of the $100 signs. His first open house, the city came by, bloop, 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 left the one in the front door. They go, oh, we'll leave that one. I don't want to have to talk to the agents. And they took 13 of his signs, and that was all the money he had. He quit real estate that day. First open house, quit. He goes, I cannot afford to buy 1,400 more. And he went and got a job at JCPenney. I'm not knocking JC, but that was it. It was expensive. You're lucky you can get these Coroplast. They don't leak. They can be out in a hailstorm. They'll work. And the wrought iron legs, it works great. So just know this. Your signs will get stolen, taken, vandalized, whatever. It happens. Get over it. Cost of doing business. It was so worth it. So I just wanted to say that.